so Adam has Manchester City winning the league, Liverpool placing in second, Chelsea coming third, Arsenal fourth, United fifth, Newcastle sixth. No space for Spurs, I noticed.
No, too much Spurs behavior.
Okay, let's go with your reasons.
For City, I've not seen Pep go 2 years without winning a league title anywhere he's been.
Okay.
I've not seen him go 1 year, then the next year without winning a league title. It's not happened before. So I'm yet to see it. So until then, I'm going to stick with him. I think they've done good business, even though I do agree with Coach that some of the players do not hit the levels of some of the guys they've had in the team in the past.
Yeah.
But I think they've solved most of the problems their squad had last season. Bar the Rodri relapse, I think they have a very good team going into the season. So I'll stick my money behind them. For Liverpool, I like the business they've done a lot. They've done a lot of great business. As Coach said, there aren't too many teams that win the league and go and splash this amount of cash. But their centre-back situation, I just feel like a little bit more cover is needed. What I saw in pre-season was a team that could create a lot of chances. I feel like they'll create more chances this season because of the attacking power they have. But when they are going back, the amount of goals they were conceding in pre-season, even Slot drew attention to that. That is something they'll have to work on. So I think that might be the undoing the season. But it all depends on the business they are able to do this season. As of now, if this is the team they'll present for the rest of the season, I think this is where they will finish because of how they might not be as solid as they were. Last season, they were really good defensively. For Chelsea,
hey, Charlie! They hate watch on Liverpool here is serious.
It's crazy.
Nobody they hate watch Liverpool.
It's okay. Let's go with the analysis.
For Chelsea, I think it's more of a momentum thing for me. I think from where they came from last season, saying they weren't in the title race, then finishing with the Conference League title, then going and the high of winning the Club World Championship. I think it will just give them confidence heading into the season.
They are not in the title race.
As much as their team is young, I feel that if you look at the kind of players they've brought in, they are players who are kind of hungry. The lap was at Ipswich. João Pedro, where he was coming from, I think they want to prove a point at the club they've come to. I see him as.
I think he's a good finisher. He definitely has room to.
In fact, he's one of the finest finishers. Not good. Oh no, it's not like it's not like I'm sugarcoating.
I think it was impressive for him to score 12 goals at where he was. So for to come to a team like Chelsea, I should only think it will go up. The numbers will go up because that team doesn't create that much. For him to score 12 goals there, I think he'll do it. What Coach said about them not having enough rest, I think their squad is big, so they can share.
It's big, but it's not of the same quality.
Fair enough. But then you don't need the same like starting 11 quality to kill out every game. There are some games you can rotate and still see the game out. So I feel like that will do them some good because of how deep their squad is. For us now, I just feel like it's a season where too many people might come to the party. That's what might push them down. As much as they've done good business, I think they've done good business and they will be competing. But like last season was like almost like a free pass for them to go and win the league. And they weren't consistent enough, and Liverpool had it over them. But now,
Auntie Coco with the opener. Look at the way the studio is silent. Auntie Coco to open the season. Let me see who dropped the assist.
No, Bina.
There was a defensive error. He just capitalized on it.
You made solo run. I mean, defender was sleeping on the job. Hold on, the show is on pause till I see the goal. Let me watch that replay again. Like Ekitike says, I have arrived. When we say hit the ground running, this is how your striker hit the ground running.
When you say we are hate watching Liverpool,
you are.
No, have you
seen made analysis to
no, but have you seen my prediction?
Ekitike, aggressive striker. Composer, anyway, let's get back to the predictions. Please,
for Arsenal, I just feel like for Arsenal, it's a season where too many people might come to the party. Liverpool are super strong this season. City are coming back.
So the guy they move like Isaku.
I say I need the twin towers. The twin towers and Isak.
You say
you let me keep quiet. Let's go on.
Please. So for Arsenal, I just feel like the competition will be too much this season. Too many people will come to the party, so I might see them being pushed down a bit. For United, I'm tipping a bounce back because of how bad their season was last season.
They just can't go any lower.
Yeah, if any lower is relegation, and I don't think that Ruben Women has that on his cards. Any lower relegation, and with the kind of reinforcements they've brought in, I think their team looks impressive. Like contrary to what a lot of people think, I think they've done really good business.
They literally overhauled.
It's just they're just a few signings away from being a strong competitor in the league. So I understand the confidence a lot of their fans are getting ahead of the season. And Newcastle, the whole Isak situation, everybody knows that apart from Barcelona, the team I love is Newcastle. And the whole Isak situation has just destabilized the dressing room. I don't know how much business they can do before the transfer window comes to an end. And even if they can't do any, the level of the quality of the players they will bring in as compared to Isak. Because I don't think they are replacing Isak with one player, because they lost Callum Wilson too. So they need to bring at least 2 strikers in. So that's in addition to some of the things they need to do in the transfer window. I don't think they can do all of it in time to be able to compete and push up farther than 5th than they finished last season. So that's the reason for my top 6.
Solid. I like it. Let me get to shining brother one. Yao Ejeminta. Top 6.
Listeners, when the word shining means we advise him to do the Lord is my pepper for 3 years. And it's not.
Coach, some few minutes ago, right? I went to my Twitter handle and to find out that I've got one person, actually a couple of people following me. Guess one of the accounts handle, Sakura Man.
Top 6. Man United at 6 position. Newcastle at 5. Newcastle are almost done with the Jacob Ramsey move from Aston Villa. And honestly, I think that's what gave me the confidence to put them. That gave me the confidence to put them ahead of.
I don't really raise Ramsey.
Ahead of Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. I think Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur, one of those two teams would finish either in 5th place and the other will finish in 7th place. I think they competing in the Champions League will bring about a distraction, as in they could go all in on the Champions League if they start well, and might end up slipping up along the way in the Premier League, or they might end up getting fatigued along the way and end up letting in some points go along the way. So in between those two teams, then I see Man United slipping in. So Man United 6th, Newcastle 5th, Tottenham Hotspur 7th. Then Chelsea, I go with Chelsea in 4th place. I think they maintain their spot from last season, mainly because they've done well in terms of recruitment, help boosting their attacking lineup with Liam Delap and Joao Pedro, and also boosting their midfield. And now Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo look settled and look to playing the way that they used to play before they got to Chelsea. Their first season together, it wasn't good, but looking at how they played in their second season, up until the World Cup, yes, I think they found their footing and will do well. But unfortunately, all the great things that Chelsea are likely to do, that back line is still shaky. That centre back is still shaky, and that centre back combination is still shaky. And on top of that, Robert Sanchez, yes, if it's just 1 or 2 games, he'll deliver the goods for you. But across across an entire campaign, the mistakes will pile up along the way, and will end up costing you some games. And
it's ironic because they spoke a lot about replacing Sanchez towards the off season.
And
off season came and it just died.
Yes, because he delivered 1 or 2 brilliant performances, and that's why it got to them to change their mind a little bit. Then when you look at
in fact, I hear not to cut you. I hear one of the reasons that changed the top hierarchy's mind or the decision to let him go was that final against PSG. All the goals Chelsea scored.
The passing rate, his passing ability, and on top of that, when you look at the options available, the quality of their passes is not at the same level as let's say Robert Sanchez. So for instance, Gianluigi Donnarumma, in terms of passing is considered pretty much a weakness in his game, and so that is very important in Enzo Maresca's setup. And so yeah, they likely want to go in for a guy like or stick with a guy like Robert Sanchez.
Yeah.
But like I said, the mistakes are there; they will pop up. And when you combine that with the uncertainty at the center back position, is it Tosna Darabioyo? Is it?
That's my buddy.
Are you going with
The guy with the walk.
Are you going with Chaluba? Are you going with the French boys, Disasi and for fun?
But they are
still so many doubts or question marks in there. So yeah, that's why I see Chelsea staying put in 4th place and not taking a step or two higher. Then with Man City have started the rebuild. But I think it will take them another year, which is this year, before they get to that elite level and have that aura about them where they just get to that dominance level that they were just brushing teams aside. Yeah. And so that's why I see them staying put in 3rd place. And Arsenal also staying put in 2nd place because, yes, they have their striker, and now they look to be a little bit pretty much without weaknesses. But at the end of the day, I think the Madueke money wasn't well spent because you don't spend £52 million on pretty much a backup or a guy who would be an ill fit in terms of tactical balance when you start him on the left side. Because if you start him on the left side, then you have left-footed Madueke and a left-footed Saka who is only wanting to come infield. And that pretty much tightens up the space that you need to operate and help the middlemen create enough chances. And that makes Arsenal's attack pretty much predictable because you know that through the middle, they don't create as much. They will send the ball out wide and for them to send across. And when they move the ball out wide to send across, it's not especially from the right side, it's not coming from Bukayo Saka because he'll be moving infield. It's coming from Ben White. And Ben White's crosses are downright terrible. They are downright terrible. It's either it doesn't beat the first line of defense or it goes completely over the top of everyone. True. And so yeah, that's a bit of weakness, and I don't think it helps out with Arsenal being able to score as many goals as Liverpool did last season. So that's why I'll keep them in 2nd place. And with Liverpool, yeah, the pressure of dealing with living up to the standards or expectations of a champion would get to them a little bit. The emotional toll that comes with dealing with the Diogo Jota issue will come in, but I think it's negated because of the influx of the new players with KTK coming in, Jeremy Frimpong, KKS coming in,
and Isak
and
in the
potentially
pipeline.
Isak also in the pipeline. So yeah, I see that, and I think that okay, these guys would have way too much firepower, and their defense is likely to get that serious boost that they need to serve as to sort out the backup issues behind Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. Already, Leone is in the building, and potentially they could get Maguire. And once they get Maguire, then pretty much the team is full to the brim in terms of talent, in terms of quality, and the depth that they need to be able to challenge across all fronts. Which is 4 in this campaign. And yeah, I think they have more than enough quality to be able to maintain their position, and that is 1st place. So yeah, that's my prediction. Liverpool number 1, Arsenal number 2, Man City number 3, Chelsea 4, Newcastle 5, and Manchester United 6.
Very interesting. Let me go to Shining Brother 2. Gabriel Fair has a very interesting.
So is he saying
So you have Liverpool topping the charts.
You say they hate watch.
I'm not even sure why you were trying to behave like coach, because I don't know why you are.
Anyway,
we're waiting for him.
I'll explain why.
Okay, so Liverpool top to win the league for Gabi. Manchester City 2nd. Chelsea go up 1 step further to 3rd. Arsenal drop off to 4th. It looks like phase 5 won't be good for Arteta according to Gabi. United are 5th. Wow.
From 15th to 5th.
Wow, that's quite the leap. Yeah. And then there's Newcastle in 6th. Talk me through this.
Well, Liverpool, I think. Now, before that, I think that this season would be very, very competitive. So you can probably understand why you see me doing some bit of moves when I see that Bournemouth are trying to go against Liverpool. I think it'll be tough. Look, but I think Liverpool have reinforced expensively and impressively this season. I would say you can't splash in excess of 250 million pounds. Take it into the season and say that you wouldn't defend the title. The reports were that Liverpool were ready to spend about 500 million pounds.
There's cash,
and clearly they've done so. It's now 250. If they're able to bring in Gehi, it gets to 300. That 200 there is still waiting for that Isak move from Newcastle to Liverpool. Even if that doesn't happen, I think that this season we'll get to see really what Slot's team would be like. Last season we had so much talk about inheriting a team that was under Klopp. Now clearly the signings is done.
This is his team.
Yes, the signings is done. It's a huge statement of what he wants to do with this Liverpool team. I have a few concerns though. You know, sometime back I spoke about what Slot actually wants from Jeremy Frimpong. And I say so because if you look at what Frimpong did for Leverkusen, he played mostly as a right wing back. Right? And Slot has brought him in because he sees him as a player who gives him a lot of options at that right side. Taking into consideration that Salah would leave for the AFCON. All right, but in this game, he's gone with him at right back position, which I actually don't buy. But I understand it's a long stretch of games, 38 games, as and when the season evolves, and depending on what opponents they face, he would switch. But I think all that's said and done, the Ekitike move to works for me. Look, in as much as there's pressure on him, I think that he gives or he takes some bits of pressure off Mohamed Salah. Because last season, Liverpool were heavily reliant on Mohamed Salah.
And he'll go to the AFCON leads this year.
Exactly. And even if Salah lives, even when you take that out, he's a player who has a very good history with staying away from injuries. And I'm one person that don't doubt that he will step up this season. He'll give Liverpool that 15-20 goals that season. And that almost has what happened last season repeating again. All right, he's brought in Florian Viet, who I think that would also add some bit of added power up front. A player who gives a lot of options. Also dependent on what Slot would want to do with him. So look, that activity in the transfer market from the top hierarchy of Liverpool tells the other competitors that look, we want to do back to back for the first time in a very long time. And there's pressure on Liverpool to deliver. They can't run away from it. They have to embrace it. Slot now has to change or convince us that whatever they did last season was not a fluke.
Hey, Charlie.
I'm saying that again. Slot has to change and convince everybody that is watching the EPL from today to next year, May or whatever, that whatever they did last season was not a fluke. And so that is why I put them there to win the title. Look, and to even move on to second, that signing alone is another statement that they even want to do better in Europe, in the UEFA Champions League. All right, so it's a good one. My second team, I gave it to Manchester City. I mean, the team to finish second, I gave it to City because I think City have still got a lot of work to do. I'm not too convinced with the work they've put in the transfer market. They brought in Ryan Sheki, one of the technically gifted players, Bipedal. Last season he starts in the French Ligue 1, was really impressive. They've brought in some other players, Ryan Al-Nouri, who solves that a bit of a problem at that left back position. But I don't see about him. Yes, I still don't see that team really convinced under Pep. I think Pep still needs this season to actually put together whatever he wants to do in the past season. But the big question actually a lot of City fans are asking is that would he even stay for next season? Yes, so it's a really,
I think so, because he signed a 2-year extension, so this season and next season.
So it's a really dicey situation for Manchester, for me. That's why I put City at second. And I've not been too impressed with the signings they've done. I think some of those difficulties they went through last season would pop up again. All right, would pop up again this season. And in as much as they would want to be very effective, I don't think they've got that firepower like Liverpool have got for this season. That's why I put them at second. My third place would be obviously Chelsea. I put Chelsea in third because I think they'll do better than last season. Last season they finished fourth. I also think that the exertions of the FIFA Club World Cup would somehow get to them. Another factor I want to highlight is that, and Yao mentions it, Chelsea are not too good at the back. And what made it even worse is Levi Cole going out to ACL. All right. Today I read somewhere that the top hierarchy are looking to bring in an experienced centre back, somebody who's got Premier League experience. They don't want to look outside the EPL.
Yeah.
And that's very difficult because Maresca says he wants a centre back, not a centre back who is.
Why are there plenty centre backs actually? Where's the Sassy?
No, you see,
Disasi.
no, Disasi to Aston Villa.
Where's Badiashile?
But he came back.
They're all back.
No, but he's not good enough.
He's not good enough. He's the player.
There's Disasi,
Fofana,
Badiashile,
Chaluba.
Tosin, Chaloba.
Yeah.
But now if you look at the centre backs Maresca prefers, it was more of Levi Cole
Chaloba.
and
In Chaluba. Yeah.
Chaloba. No, but last season he went with Tosin and Chaloba came back. So then he reverted to Chaloba. So it was going to look like it was going to be more of Levi and Chaloba, and then the ACL pop up. So it means that it's probably going to be Chaloba. That's if Chelsea don't sign Chaloba and Tosin. And I don't trust Tosin too much. I'm not saying he's bad, but and you know what I find that very surprising because I thought, given his experience in the Premier League with Fulham, he should have been way better than what we are seeing now. But he looks like, when I watch him, he still looks like a 19-year-old defender who is still trying to learn.
He was not that good at Fulham.
No, I'm not saying that he was good at Fulham, but I'm saying that
he should have upped this game by now.
I'm not saying he's that good. Now, the only leader I think at Chelsea now, the back line, is Reece James. Ben, you and I know that Reece James spends more time with the medical team than his players on the pitch.
Yeah, and his friend Danny Olmo.
And you can't trust him that much to lead. Another problem that Maresca would have to deal with is the goalkeeper. Consistent 10 games, awful 15 games. That's Robert Sanchez for you. So that's one of these. These are some of the factors that I think that would hamper Chelsea's progress. Like I said, I think they'll start really well. They can probably do a 15 league run mixed with some bits of draws and wins, and then they begin to fall off because up front they've solved a lot of problems that last season hurt them a lot. In Nicholas Jackson had very good XG, but unable to convert a lot of these chances he was getting. João Pedro somehow solves it. It takes off a bit of that burden on Cole Palmer. All right, so I think Chelsea will finish third. Now fourth, I gave it to my fourth was Arsenal, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes. So Arsenal. Why I put Arsenal at fourth is that, look, I've seen something Arteta is trying to do with the acquisition of Gyökeres, which they haven't done in a long while.
Yeah.
The second thing is that I think a lot of people are forgetting that Arsenal haven't still gotten a backup for Martinelli.
Oh, they have.
I say
Leandro Trossard.
no. I don't.
There's
I don't.
Gabriel Jesus. They have options there, but it's just that none of them are top level,
Okay.
like Bukayo Saka.
So that's the point I want to make.
Yeah.
We've seen Gabi Jesus do whatever he wants to do. Leandro Trossard is not that consistent. And I was thinking that money they spent on Noni Madueke,
Yeah.
I think they were chasing Eze,
They're still chasing us.
right? I say so because last season, a lot of Arsenal's goals came from Bukayo Saka. This season, they can't afford to do that again. And if you are going to rely on Saka now has to do that a lot of job for Gyökeres. I say so because Arteta has tried or is trying, what I've seen from what they've been doing pre-season, to change the style of play, more to give the ball directly to Gyökeres, which they haven't done in a very long while. And I think that will take time. I find it backfiring more than working.
And you think that addition will change the dynamics
Yes,
of the
because
way
at the time that you win, they should
because now a lot of the players would have to now adjust
Yeah.
to what Gyökeres has to do.
Yeah.
I think everybody around this table knows how Gyökeres plays. And if you watch, there was one game they played. I'm not too sure of it. There was a long pass from the goalkeeper. Gyökeres comes in deep, flicks the ball to the right. He runs into the channel.
And
something of that sort that we are going to be seeing. Because look, I think his physically strong.
Yeah.
He's able to make himself big, take the ball, allow players to run into the channel, releases the ball to them, and then that's not how Arsenal plays. Is that so? That's not how they play. Last season they were
re-engineering their style.
Yes, it was more of using the flanks, Saka, Odegaard, and now they have to change their style because of striker they've brought in.
Yeah.
And I think that would go on to worry them this season, and probably would lead to Arteta losing his job. Yes, because a lot of people are actually thinking that it's this season for them.
It's this season or nothing.
Arteta at the press conference said something that I found really funny. He said, "You dig and dig and dig and dig, and you find gold in the mud or something like that.
Arteta.
You will find diamonds."
I feel like we are coach,
and you are not good, and you are not delivering results, man. You become a philosopher now. You'll be delivering.
You will find diamonds. Diamonds there.
You stop the Socrates behavior and just coach.
Let me move on to my fifth and sixth thing.
Yeah.
Ben, Manchester United. You've brought in a player who scored 20 goals. You've brought in a player who scored 20 goals. Brian Mbeumo. A player who did 20 goals with a not so talented squad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You've brought in another player who was, I think, arguably was one of the finest or best player at Wolves in Matheus Cunha. And you've brought in a player I admire so much in Benjamin Sesko.
Charlie.
Look,
for once before I eat your humble pie.
I'm not eating any humble pie.
The admiration there. Good. The action is on the pitch.
Sunday,
Citi has scored the opening goal of the Premier League season.
I would score that goal.
Ben,
Do
you know what United have done with the acquisition of these three players? They've solved a very glaring problem we all witnessed last season in goal scoring. And that acquisition of Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. As for Sesko, I can only admire him, but I can't say much. Because he now has to come and adapt. He now has to come and adapt. But I'm expecting that he's in the middle of two players who's got huge Premier League experience.
Yep.
And I think, and not just him, not just these two players, but Bruno Fernandes and some other players, that they would help Sesko to grow in quickly. Look, there's no honeymoon for him. He has to hit the ground running.
Yep.
And look at something. The strikers that came in this season, whether it's pre-season or it's friendly, they've all started really quickly. They've settled in really quick. Because they know that, look, there's no time. Ekitike scored in the community shield.
Ekitike is enumerating his goal. He's marking, and the first one when he did this.
Good.
Today he gave you.
No, the first one he did this. He said we did come on.
Say what my number 2.
João Pedro came in and he scored for Chelsea.
Thank you.
Who against Victor Gyökeres scored for Arsenal. Who is striker? He come again. That's it, right? Even no, at Chelsea to learn the lap has already scored. So Sesko would have to also hit the ground running.
Thank you.
For Manchester United against Arsenal.
There's no running from it.
Because for him, he didn't get the luxury of playing in pre-season or whatever. His pre-season it's pre-season competitive game for him. And that game is against Arsenal. So he has to do. So look, I think United have solved that. If they're able to remain consistent, if these three players are able to come together, and clearly that will be Amorim's style, because he's clearly going to go with a back three. And it would go throughout the entire season. If that's going to work, I think it's an improved, because United are not going to play in Europe. They are going to get more rest, whilst the other teams are playing in Europe. When they come back, they have good rest and they can hit the opponents really well. So I think they'll move from 15th to 5th for me. The last one has to do with Newcastle. Newcastle are in also some funny episodes with the Isak thing. There's so much chaos in that dressing room, and I think that would go on to haunt them. I don't know what would become of Isak. I don't know what would become of Ediao. But clearly, if you've paid attention to what Newcastle have been doing pre-season, they are trying to build a team that won't rely on him too much. And I saw some changes he did with Anthony Gordon and a few other players up front. Because they really don't know or can't really tell what would happen. I think that would be a very big problem for them going forward. But I still think that they'll make it into the top 6 because they've got some equally good players in that squad